Morning, my name is Srinivas. I am working as an assistant professor in IARE college. Today's topic will discuss about views. What is a view in SQL? Why we need SQL? Why we need SQL views? And what are the various options available for us in the views? Okay, let us get started. The first thing is, first we'll try to understand what is the purpose of a view. What is a view? Okay. So as you have tables, and tables will have data in the database. Tables will have data. Tables will have data, and that tables are stored in database. So the table will contain entire information about a particular information about the data. Now, what is a view? A view is nothing but a SQL statement that is stored in the database with the associated name. Like you have a table, you also have a view name. You have a table by name student. A student table will contains the data, contains columns of various entities of the student table. Same way, a view is also an SQL statement, and it is saved to the database having a name. Like example, VW student. VW student is the name of the view. VW student is the name of the view. Like table, you have student table is there. Same way, you will have a view by name VW student. Here, just added VW in before the student just to make sure it is a view. So I can have any name for the view. Okay, the name of the view can be anything. So a view is nothing but an SQL statement that is stored to the database. And it has a name. Now, what is a view? Like you write select star from a table called student. So, but when you write this statement, select star from student, this is going to give you the student data available in the database table student. Same way, I'll say create view name as select star from student. Okay, we'll just see actual query in later stage. But here we like to understand what is a view. A view is nothing but an SQL statement that is stored in the database having associated name. View is actually a composition of a table in the form of predefined SQL query. So there is a SQL query. What is SQL query? Anything having select statement, and it is getting retrieve data from the database. Is the predefined SQL query. Okay. So as it is a predefined SQL query, it can have few records, all the rows. Suppose if you want to filter a rows, we will use a where condition. We will use a where condition in the database to filter rows. So when you write a where condition, all the data from the table will not be displayed. Only the corresponding records which are satisfying the where clause will be retrieved. So if you don't give a where clause, you are going to get all the rows. If you give a where clause, you are going to get only a few part of the things. Okay, and also the view can be created from one or more tables, which depends on the SQL query. So you write an SQL query to fetch the data from multiple tables. Then it is when you have multiple tables, when you have the data coming from multiple tables, same thing is the same SQL statement. You can also save it as view. So instead of writing the same statement once again, you can directly call the view. Okay. So here we try to understand what is a view. A view is nothing but an SQL statement that is stored in the database and having a specific name. And also it is in the form of a table, and it is a predefined SQL query. It is not an ad hoc query. It is a predefined query. That means you already know what is written in the SQL query, and it can contain some rows or all the rows from the table. Okay, and also it can be created from multiple tables. Okay, now views are nothing but virtual tables. So views are are also a type of tables, but not real tables. They are virtual tables. That means they will not hold data directly. They will indirectly talk to the table which is background. So I have a table here. I have a table here. On this, I create a view. So your view is based on the tables. Tables or tables. So one table or many tables. Now what? Now we have seen that it also called as a virtual table. Okay. Now here what we can do with the views is that it structures the data in a way that users can find it natural or intuitive. That means the user will not have access to that table. He will just see we give access to the view, so he will see the data coming in that view. Okay. Restrict access to the data in such a way that user can see and sometimes modify exactly what they need and know more. Suppose your table is having more data, but you don't want to expose all the data to the end user. You want to expose only a few parts. For example, I have a college having various branches: computer science, electronic science, civil, and etc. Now here I would like to expose only the computer science data. So in the where clause, I mention where data is equal to computer science. Then when I give this view to some X user we cannot see all the data. He can see only the data related to computer science. That is what we meant by the second line. And it is also used to summarize data from various tables, which can be used to generate report. Suppose I have data in multiple tables. I have data in multiple tables like student marks, student assignments, and all these things. At the end of the thing, I want to publish the total information of the student. Then I'll combine all these tables. I'll make it a view, and then I will generate reports. So this is the introduction. This is an introduction to the views. Okay. Now we have seen what is a view. Now we will see we have seen what is a view and why it is used. Now we will try to understand. What are the mechanisms, what are the ways we have to create views. So database can be created by using the create view statement. Like you use a create table. Similarly we can create a view based on my create view statement. You create a table like create table name student having various columns here, right? This is how we create a table. Similarly, now to create a view, you have to use the syntax called as create view. So the view can be created from multiple tables or from another view also. So to create a view, the user must have the sufficient system privileges to create a view. Suppose you don't have access to the system database, you cannot log in and you cannot create the view. So in order to create the view, you should also have the necessary security permissions. Now we'll see the syntax. So we'll see the syntax here: create or alter. See, create or alter. See, when it is create means I don't have the object earlier. It is just the create statement. Create or replace. See, replace or alter is used to modify an existing object. See, replace or alter. It depends on your database. In SQL, it is alter is to modify the structure of an existing object. Now here, see, we'll see the syntax: create or replace view name. Like you create a table, you have a table name. Similarly, you create a view, you have a view name. So create or replace view name. Like create table, create view has. Select the required columns from various tables. If there's only one table, no second table is required, and you like to use a where clause or not a where clause. So basically, in order to create a view, we need to have the syntax called as create view name as what are the columns you want to have from multiple tables or single table. For example, here I am creating a view by name VW computers. So create view is the syntax followed by the view name. Here my view name is VW computers. VW computers. So create view VW computer as. Now here I have to write what is that I want to display in the view. So I'm saying I need the following columns from the student view table. Student view is also a table, not a view. Here just your name is just confusing. Student view is a table where I'm saying now my I want to get the data from the computer science section. Now see, if you execute this part, you are going to get some data of the computer science department, whose you are going to get ID, name, age, and course. This is the 4 columns data will be getting when I execute the statement. Now I am saying here as create view VW computers. So my view, when I execute this view, I am going to get the information, 4 column information of student ID, name, age, and course, from the course whose section is computer science. Now we have created a view. By using this syntax, create view VW computers as select required columns from on student table. Here I can have 1 or more tables, but in this case I am going with only 1 table. I am saying my course should be only computer science. Okay, now we'll see how to execute this. Now if you see this diagram, select star from the student. This is the main table. This is the original table. It is having 9 records. In this case, I have 9 records. If you see this table correctly, we have 1 computer science student, 2, 3, 4. 4 computer science students, 4 civil and mechanical. I have in the student view table, I have 9 records. In that 4 are computer science, 4 are civil and mechanical. You remember we created a view earlier. We have created VW computers. How we created? We said that create view name. View name is VW computers. Computers as select ID, name, age, and course from student view, where course is equal to computer science. In the previous slide, we have seen we have created a view by using this syntax. Where is syntax? This syntax. This is the syntax. We created the view. Okay. So we have created view. Now we will see how to execute the view. We have created the view. We will see how to execute the view. After creating the view, like how you select the data from the table, you will say select star from the table name. Suppose your table name is student, you will say select from student. Same way, you can select the data. You can select the data from the view by saying select star from VW computers. When you execute when you fire this statement, select star from computers, VW computers, you are going to get the data only pertaining to the computer science student. See here, out of the 9 records, my student view is having 9 records, but here when I execute this view, I am getting only 4 records. I am not seeing the data of civil and mechanical. The only reason is that I have included the where clause in the view to to select data from only computer science data here. If you see this example, you are going to see only data coming from the computer science department. Okay. Now we'll see this in a graphical way. Now this is student table is the table here. Student table having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 columns. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have 4 columns and 5 rows. We have a table called student table. We have a table called student table having 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 columns. 1, 2, 3, 5 columns and 5 rows. 5 columns and 5 rows. We have this table holding data pertaining to civil and computer science. So a student table is having 5 records, out of which 2 are civil and 3 are computer science. Now we have, in the earlier example, we have seen how to create a view for computers. We said that we want information in the where clause. We mentioned that where course is equal to computers. Same way, a civil will say where civil. Now the orange data is the civil engineering data. The green color is the computer science data. Now this is at a high level. This is at a diagrammatic level. How we are seeing the data from multiple tables here. So here, this is a graphical table having 5 rows, out of which 2 belongs to civil, 3 belongs to computer science, and 3 belongs to computer science. And we have used this. Now we will see. Till now we have seen how to create a view. We have seen how to create a view, how to create a view, how to execute the view. Now we will see what are the other operations we can do with the view. With the view, you can insert data into view. Insert data into. You can delete the records. You can drop the view. Okay. These are the various conditions we can perform on a view. Now we will see the first example, how to insert data into the view. Okay. How to insert data into the view. You can also use update also. So you will see how to insert data, how to delete the data from the view, how to drop the view, how to update the data. In the first example, we'll see, we already seen what is VW computers. VW computers is a view based upon the student table where the course is computer science. So here I am saying that insert into the command into the VW is the view name. VW is the view name values. Like you insert into table, same syntax is also holds good. You say, if you want to insert into a table, you say insert into a table values. You'll give the required columns here. Same way here I am saying that instead of table name, I'm replacing the table name with VW computer science. So insert into VW computers values 1010 Kumar 23.5 computers. This is my insert statement. This is how we can insert data into the insert data into the insert statement. Now when you execute the select stars and computers, we'll see the newly created data VW computers. VW computers data. Okay, now we'll see here something called as row level security. Row level security. Using computers view, you are able to operate exclusively on computers data only. This is called as row level security, a mechanism to ensure secure access to specific users rows to the end user. Okay, this is we have introduced now something called as row level security. What is a row level security? This is a security mechanism. Mechanism where we want to display only few users to the end user. Here we know that my student table is having data from civil engineering, from civil and mechanical and computer science. But here I am displaying only data belonging to the computer science section. Computer science section. So in this case, I'll be seeing data of only the computer science data. This is called as row level security. What is it? Is a mechanism to ensure secured access to specific rows to end user. So we have inserted a value into the view. See, when you insert it into the view, this is actually going to the underlying table. What is my underlying table? My underlying table was student table. My underlying table was student table. Though you inserted the data here, though you have inserted into the VW computers is based on underlying table called as student table. So directly it is inserting the now. This is the first case. This is the first case of the. Now we'll see what is the second case. The second case is how to update the data in a view. So we know what is the update command. Update table set to some column is equal to new value. So here I'm setting some value. Setting a value of earlier it was 23.5 for the age. Now I want to make this age to 30. I want this age to make it 30. Now I'll say set age is equal to 30. Set age is equal to 30. So for all the records, my age will be 30 now from 23.5. As I did not include the where clause, all the data which is available in the VW computers is set to 30. Only computer science data is set to 30 because you are not modifying the main table. You are modifying only the view. This view is based upon the. This view is based. The view is based upon the VW computers. So we have seen 30. So we have seen how to insert data into the view, how to update the view. Still we have two more things called delete and drop. Okay, now we'll see. Till now we have covered insert. We have covered insert. We also covered update. Insert and update. Now we'll see what is the delete. Okay, like you delete from a table. From a table. Same way you can delete from the view, saying that delete data from table view name VW computers. Where I'm viewing where I want to delete the record of 1010. See here my 1010 is a Kumar record. Now I am deleting from the view. I'm deleting from the view record 1010. When I remove this data, 1010 will be removed from the database. Now here we have 4 records. Earlier we had 5 records here. Now we are seeing only 4 records here. That means your data from the table is deleted. Huh? It is also deleted from the view, also from the table. View is only view is an imaginary table, not a real table. It is based on the table. So here, this is how we have seen how to insert data, how to update data, how to delete the data. Now we will see something advanced feature of the views. That is check option. It is check option. This is the this is an additional feature on the view called as check option. Now here, what I am doing is that I am going to introduce the check option. So till here, it is common here, right? Till here it is common. So I am selecting 4 columns: ID, name, age, and course. These are the 4 columns I want to get from the table called as student, and my course is equal to computer science. This we have seen earlier in first slide, second slide, how to create a view based on the computer science. Here I introduce the where clause, so I am going to see data of only the VW student data. Now if you select star from this table, you will be seeing the 9 records, the total records. These are the 9 records, but now we need to see only data of the computer science data. When I execute this, now what we know how to insert data. We know how to insert data into a view. We also seen how to update the view, how to update view data, how to delete the thing. Now here we are trying to check. Now we have introduced with something called a keyword called as with check option. This is a keyword with check option. I'm introducing a new keyword called as with check option. When I introduce with check option, now what is going to happen? We'll see now. So first now let me try to insert VW computers values. This is the first statement. So this is belonging to computer science. So you'll not have any issues. Your record will be inserted. You see here 1010. Where is that? Okay, where 1010. This data will be inserted into the database because it is only computer science data. You will see this data in the database. But when you try to insert the civil engineering department, you see here you're going to get here. You're going to get a data error here. Insert into VW computers values. I'm inserting the data pertaining to the civil here. Here it was computer science. Now here it is the civil engineering department. You see what is the error you are going to get. See, we are going to say the attempted insert or update failed because the target view or specified with the specifies the check options or spans a view that specifically check with the check option into one or more resulting from the operation did not qualify under the check constraint. Now here I have introduced check option. This is making sure that only the data belonging to computer science are inserted. When I try to insert the data coming from the civil engineering department, it is not allowing me to, because it is now this view is bounded with the check option. This check option is making sure that only data belonging to computer science is inserted. Other data apart from computer science, you will not be able to insert data here. You will not be able to insert data into other branch data. That is a check option. So what is check option? Check option is to make sure that you have access to the only set of data. So if you try to modify, if you remove this check option, you'll be able to insert this data because there's no check option. Only is that we have introduced this check option. You will not be able to enter details belonging to the civil engineering department. This is making sure that your data is false proof. That means you're not allowing data other than computer science to be inserted. When you try to insert What is getting error? It says that you are inserted or updated because failed because target view. What is target view? Target view is the student view is specified with the check option. The check option that is preventing data from inserting other data. This is the this is the this is the check option. We have two more conditions to be known in this views. Now we'll see those. Now what is schema binding? Okay. Now earlier we have seen what is check constraint. Check constraint. Now here I am going to introduce something called as with the schema binding. With the schema binding. Now what is this do? Now when I say the schema binding, okay, schema binding is nothing but you're binding this view to the database. Okay, to the schema. Now here what is going to happen is that this is my view, create view, video computers. You forget this word, schema binding till now. This is the general rule to create the view. What is the general rule to create a view? Any select statement having a name. Now my view name is computers having select statement. Now here if I try to drop this view, this table, it will be dropped. It will be dropped because there is no binding between the view and the table. There is no binding between the view and the table. That's why you can drop this table. But if I introduce something called a schema binding, if I introduce something called a schema with the schema binding, then my view is linked to the table. My view is linked to the table. Now I will not be able to drop the table. If you try to drop the table, see what is happening. Cannot drop table student view because it is being referenced by the object VW civil. It is being referenced by the object VW civil. That's why you're unable to drop this view because you have made it the schema binding. The schema binding will prevent orphan views. What is orphan view? Table. What is orphan view? Orphan view is view exist. Table does not exist. You know what is going to happen? Your view was based on a table. The table is not there, but view existing. That means you are going to get a now data error. You have to make sure that you are not dropping the table. If there is any view, then we have to use schema binding. This is the second thing. Now we have seen what are the advanced features of views are. One is the check option. Second is the schema binding. Now we'll see the third option with encryption. Okay. So with encryption, we'll see what is encryption here. Okay. When you want to see any table structure or any help upon any object in SQL, we can use something called as SP_help text. SP_help text is a system stored procedure provided by SQL Server. By this, you can see what is there in that view or a procedure. So, SP_help text will give you something. Will tell you what is written in this, what it contains in the view, procedure, trigger, function. So if you say SP_help text, SP_help text view name, SP_help text view name, you can see the syntax of this view. What is in this view? You can see what is the syntax, what is available in this view. Now here, so when you say SP_help text, SP_help text VW civil, you are seeing the data, what is there in that view, how it is built upon. Same thing with procedure also you can do, trigger also function. So anything you write and store it as a database object, you can see the data. You can see the data from this command sp underscore help text civil. Okay. Now here I am going to introduce something called as encryption. Earlier we have seen what is schema binding, check option, and at last we are seeing something called as encryption. Encryption. When you use encryption, your data will not be visible. When you try to execute the statement, you are getting VWL. This text or object is encrypted. This object is encrypted. That means it is encrypted. Why? Because I have created this view with the syntax called as with encryption. I have created this view with encryption. So I will not be able to see data here. That is why it is encrypted. Okay, and similarly, one thing we forgot is in order to drop the view, I'll have to just say drop view. So drop view name. So totally in the views concept, we have tried to understand why view is required. And we also seen what view does, and we have seen syntax to create view, and also after creating of syntax, how to execute the view. Then we have seen how to insert data into the view, also update data into the view, delete data from the view. Then we have seen the advanced features like schema binding, check option. And we also seen encryption. At last, in order to drop the view, we have to say drop view name, like drop table name XYZ. Same way, drop view name XYZ. Okay, this is what we have learned today in the views section. So we are to reiterate, view is nothing but a virtual table built upon the main table. By having that view, we can display only some set of data to the end user. So, and after that, we can when you try to you can give that view, you will not see entire data here. You will not see the entire data here. And we also seen how to create a view. It is create statement, create view, like create table. Same way, create view name. Then we have seen what is how to execute this by selecting start from view computers. You see only some data, computation data. Then we have seen how to insert data into the view. Insert like any other table, same syntax is equal. And also we also introduce something called row level security, where specific access to the end users. Then delete. Then when you use the check option, you will not be able to insert some other department data. Only what is included in the where class, only this will be inserted. Then we have seen the schema binding. When you have the schema binding, your table and the views will be joined together. You cannot drop the table without dropping the view. Then we are seeing encryption. By using this option, you'll not be able to see the content of the view when we into something called at last drop is the command to drop the view. Drop the view. Thank you. This completes the views in DBMS. Thank you. Have a good day.
Like, share and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.